God curses the ground and causes thorns and thistles to grow. God kills some animals and makes some skin coats for Adam and Eve. Cain is worried after killing Abel and says, "Everyone who finds me shall slay me." This is a strange concern since there were only two other humans alive at the time, his parents. And Cain knew his wife. That's nice, but where the hell did she come from? Lamech kills a man and claims that since Cain's murderer would be punished sevenfold, whoever murders him will be punished 77-fold. That sounds fair. God created a man and a woman, and he called their name Adam. So the woman's name was Adam, too. God decides to kill all living things because the human imagination is evil. Later, after he kills everything, he promises never to do it again because the human imagination is evil. Go figure. God tells Noah to make one small window, 18 inches square, in the 450-foot ark for ventilation. Noah, the just and righteous. Noah, the drunk and naked. God opens the windows of heaven. He does this every time it rains. Noah sends a dove out to see if there was any dry land. But the dove returns without finding any. Then, just 7 days later, the dove goes out again and returns with an olive leaf. But how could an olive tree survive the flood? And if any seeds happened to survive, they certainly wouldn't germinate and grow leaves within a 7-day period. Noah kills the clean beasts and burns their dead bodies for God. According to this, that would have caused the extinction of all clean animals since only 2 of each were taken. Said in his heart that he'd never do it again because man's heart is evil from his youth. So God killed all living things because humans are evil, and then promises not to do it again because humans are evil. The mind of God is a frightening thing. Be ye fruitful and multiply. With 6 billion people on this planet, we need to disobey God on this one. God is rightly filled with remorse for having killed his creatures. He even puts the rainbow in the sky so that whenever the animals see it they will remember God's promise not to do it again. The entire 10th chapter is the first of many boring genealogies that we are told to avoid. God worries that people could actually build a tower high enough to reach them, in heaven. God is worried again. He remembers how humans nearly became gods by finding and eating from the tree of life. It was a close call, but now he faces a similar threat. He begins talking to himself again, saying, "Behold, the people is one, and they all have one language." He fears that now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Poor Pharaoh couldn't resist the very fair Sarai, and he takes her into his harem. She must have been well preserved, since she was about 70 years old at the time. Abram was 99 years old when he was circumcised. To commemorate this important event, God changes his name to Abraham. Sarah, who is about 90 years old and has gone through menopause, laughs at God when he tells her that she will have a son. She asks God if she will have pleasure with her, Lord Abraham, when both are so very old. God assures her that he will return and impregnate her at the appointed time. God, who is planning another mass murder, is worried that Abraham might try to stop him. So he asks himself if he should hide his intentions from Abraham. And the Lord went his way. Now where might that be? Lot, the just and righteous, offers his daughters to a crowd of angel rapers. Lot's nameless wife looks back, and God turns her into a pillar of salt. Lot and his daughters camp out in a cave for a while. The daughters get there, just and righteous, father drunk, and have sexual intercourse with him, and each conceives and bears a son. Wouldn't you know it? Just another wholesome family values Bible story. The Lord visited Sarah, and he did unto Sarah as he had spoken. And Sarah conceived, and bare Abraham a son. God-assisted conceptions never result in daughters. These verses suggest that Ishmael was an infant when his father abandoned him, yet he must have been about 16 years old. It must have been tough for poor Hagar to carry Ishmael on her shoulder and to then cast him under one of the shrubs. Abraham names the place where he nearly kills Isaac after Jehovah. But according to Exodus 6:3, Abraham couldn't have known that God's name was Jehovah.